Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the TakeOver Racing League Season 7 for round number 6 of the Championship. Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix here at the fabulous circuit in Monaco. I'm your host, Zach RC, commentating my second Monaco in the space of just 4 days. Looking forward to what should be an absolutely fantastic evening of racing as usual. So back again, unfortunately, once again without Darrow this week. But he's covered me quite nicely doing round 4 and round 5 when I was away. So I'm doing the same thing for him now. Look forward to having him back in the comments box with us soon. I haven't got the standings to hand this week, unfortunately, but I have got the I've got the standings from round 4 at Hungary, and I've got the results from last week in France. The race was won by Jaden in the Red Bull, pole to win, classic race there. Michael Dale came in second place, and that was enough to maintain his points lead, which is he still leads the championship right now by a decent margin compared to the cars behind him. Going into France, he was 8 points clear of Ratio, but he's not in the race tonight. Michael Dale is in the race tonight. Ratio is not. So an opportunity here for the Aston Martin driver to perhaps gain some more points on the competition. But Jaden's in the hunt. He's on his way out here for his first qualifying lap. And speaking of qualifying laps, here comes Imri in the Alfa Romeo through for his first run in qualifying, taking on a lap here, the circuit de Monaco. Down the main straight we go then, charging towards turn to start off this first lap into that first corner. 75 miles an hour, hitting the apex, now up the hill he goes. How close to the barriers he's running here in Monaco. Into the left-hander here, nice and close to that left curb, and switching back over to the right. And the exit, avoiding the Aston Martin there, tapping the wall, but getting away with it, no damage done. End of the first sector, 18.5, his first effort so far. Into the Grand Hotel hairpin we go. Bit wide there, he's managed to keep it under control, so very nicely done indeed. And now coming down to the two right-handers leading into the tunnel. Inside into the tunnel he goes here. Gear 6 on his way through the gears. Into 7 now. No chance fitting gear 8 into the braking zone here, one of the toughest to do on the circuit. Keeps it on track, keeps it within the white lines too, so fantastic run through the chicane there. And now coming towards the swim pool section and the third and final sector on the circuit. Sector 2 split, 52.5, not bad at all here. Into the chicane he goes, very fast, and now slowing the game through Raskas. And coming towards that final corner here. Looking at the first time of the session, towards the line he goes. And it is a 1 minute 10.858 to kick things off for Imri. Next car towards the line is Sleepy Sloth in the Mercedes. Goes second fast on 11.9, so over a second off Imri's pace. His teammate coming through, Ginger Nut, a bit slower than that, in third right now. Next car through will be Jaden on his outlap. Aston Martin coming in behind. That will be Michael Dale. Car after that is Legend, who's the next car on the lap right now. Haven't seen his first sector split, so we'll see his second sector here, see what's going on. 54.1. And he's invalidated this time though. Let's move on to the next car behind. That'll be No in the Haas, who's also invalidated. So it comes back to Lemons now. 18.4 is his first sector. 51.8 was his second. It's looking good for Alfa Romeo right now. Very strong pairing in general. Lemons and Imri, who have been this is second season together in the same team. Of course, rough start to season 7, but looking to pick things up now. Lemons took the win in Qatar a couple weeks ago. He goes fastest here by about 7.5, by about 7 tenths or so. Lemons on top. Imri now in second place. Next car through to the line will be C1 10P fan, reigning champion, starting on his first timed lap here. Mercedes coming in behind. That was Sleepy Sloth, who improved there by almost 3 tenths. And here comes Michael Dale now, the championship leader. Aston Martin again with a very strong pairing so far in this championship. Into the final corner he comes now. We'll see where he stacks up compared to everyone else, especially compared to those two Alfa Romeos. They'll be the main threat to him tonight. His second place, about a tenth or so. Oh wow, that was very close to running into the Red Bull of Jaden there, who's on his way out again. I assume he goes through. Cheese on his first time doing at a solid race on Monday night around Monaco. Before things ended poorly from it. I've got a crash here. Michael Dale, the championship leader, is out qualifying here. What has happened to him? He's crashed the car into the barrier on the exit turn at number 4. And he's just despawned for us to miss him, unfortunately. So I didn't get a look into what happened there. Cheese 18.6 his first sector. We'll watch him now, since we're with him. And already, I mean, he's got a fairly solid time, but he could be in trouble towards the end of the session compared to those cars around him. No's gone fast, third fastest, and Fan goes on top now. 1 minute 10.142, 4,000ths of a second in front of Lemons here. So the order very condensed together, and we'll see where Cheese stacks up. I saw him do some killer laps last time out in the RDL on Monday night, so we'll see where he stacks up here. 51.8 is second sector. That's very close to what Lemons pulled out. He needs a good third sector to put the car on provisional pole. Still a long way to go, 12 minutes left, and I believe we may have a car or two joining us mid-qualifying as well. Jaden starting his next time lap, or his second attempt at a time lap. Here comes Cheese over the line, and goes fastest there about half a second or so. So Cheese now on top, Fan in second. And those two Alfa Romeos shunted down the field now. 10th cannon, 19.2 is first sector. Here comes Jaden here. Winner last week in France. This is quite a different circuit. 18.3, but he's locked up there. Kept it under control, but locked up the car. And he's locked up again there. A lot of tyre smoke coming from the back, from the front two tyres on that Red Bull. He's going to want to stop that here if he wants a chance to take him pole. Mercedes moves over to the right-hand side there to allow him through going into the tunnel. Down into the chicane he goes, left it very late there, but he's kept it within the limits. Solid stuff here, coming into that second sector, into the split. 51.7, this is a good looking time here from Jaden. Keep out of the wall here and avoid locking up again, which he does. Out of Raskas, and now into the last corner on the circuit. DRS deployed. This could be a good lap. It's not enough for pole, but it's enough for P2. And that's just over a quarter of a tenth in it between the pair of them. I'll have a look at the interval here. There we go. 3,500 hundredths of a second. Excuse me, 35,000 of a second. 3.5 hundredths of a second. There's your maths for you. So very closely knit tight pack pole position here. Everyone's now set their times. 10th cannon crashing the car here. Out of the tunnel in the chicane. We'll see if we can catch what's happened to him here. He may have just tapped that back wall. Looks like he has. He's tapped the wall going into the chicane. That's him out. There's Michelle here on his next effort. But I think he's backed off here because he's a few seconds off. 1 minute 12.2 is his first run. And now Cheese out too. He's done the exact same thing. That chicane catching several cars out now. And it's almost complete deja vu in the space of a few seconds. So several good contenders taken out here, but I dare say Cheese is in a good position right now because of course he is on provisional pole, and it could be difficult for some of the guys to try and match at 1 minute 9.6. Here comes Wardy here for the last couple of corners, invalidated his current effort into the pit lane. He comes here. He's P7 right now. 1 minute 10.3 his best effort. No here on his out lap, charging towards the line to begin the next effort. 1 minute 10.2. Best time for the driver in 6th place. Lemons on that lap. Both Jaden and Fan in the pits. And Ginger on a lap 2. We'll see where he stacks up. Oh, very close hitting the wall there. 18.7 in the first sector. He's a tenth and a half down on his best effort so far. And now Imrie starting his second lap. Imrie P8 right now. Oh, narrowly down on his first run. Of course, that run was the first of the session. Tapping the wall, grazing ever so slightly there through the right-hander. And now Jaden's out too. Has he retired in the pit lane? I believe he has. Well, a number of cars then who are out of the session already. There's still 8 minutes to go. Imrie narrowly keeping out of the wall here. Look how close that was to the POV. That chicane, the inside walls there have really been a struggle for some of these guys. It's taken several good cars already. Imrie now into the last corner. See where he stacks up compared to those cars in front. Looking to improve from that 1 minute 10 if he can. He has improved, but not enough to gain a place. He's a second clear of Ginger Nuts, as there's a clear divide here between the bottom 5 and the top 8. Hopefully that gap will close down as the session goes on. CP Sloth here, almost half a second up on his last effort. It'll be enough to put him in front of Ginger Nut, his teammate here. Into the final corner he comes, into Raskas, and now into that, as I say, into that last right-hander, and charging towards the line once again. Yellow flag. That's Legends allowing no through. CP Sloth goes 9th fastest now. Let's watch the Haas here as he comes through. Oh, tapped that wall, but lucky to still be in it. He saw the bit of contact. Slowing up here, he's had enough. Choosing not to continue that lap, but he has to get out of the way then because Legends is coming through. Yeah, he's on that lap, you don't want to hold anyone up, especially around Monaco. Fan and Lemons both on laps here. Fan was up in his first sector. See, Sparks still there from the contact that so Legends make with the wall. Into split, he goes, there goes Fan. Keeping it under control. He was 2/10 up, almost 3/10 up at the start at the split. But how much time has he just lost? He may have lost this lap. I dare say he has lost his lap. That's very unfortunate. A mistake-filled final sector. He lost about half a second in that last part of the lap alone. So let's go again here. Lemons are 6/10 down. A lot of times we made up. There's Wardy on his way through now. 3/10, almost 4/10 up. That'll be enough to try and that'll be enough to nick a few places here. Perhaps even put him close to the front row. Wardy, the last couple of corners now on the circuit. DRS deployed for the AlphaTauri. He comes charging towards the line. It's going to be very tight here. He goes 3rd fastest. The 3rd car's putting the 1 minute 9s. Lemons into the pit lane. Here comes No now through into the last few corners out of Raskas and into the pit lane here. He's had it. 2 laps down those tyres and he's calling it there. Here's Michel. First sector complete. He's a second down. So poor start from so far. P10 right now. 5 minutes to go. So time to go again. Still 4 drivers out of qualifying here. In particular, the 2 drivers in the front row have not been matched. Jaden retiring, I think pretty because he knows that. And Cheese crashing at this very chicane. In a very similar manner to how 10th Cannon did. Wardy on that stop this time. Yellow flag. That's Legends again allowing another car through. Michel has invalidated this lap, so he's going to go again. Majority of cars in the pit lane. Just throw them on the circuit. Make that 2. And I assume we may see. So these 2 will definitely stay out. Oh, Legends taps the wall there. Imri into the last couple of corners to start his next lap. 1 minute 10.604, his best effort so far from those 2 laps he's completed. On to lap number 3 now, and looking to do what he can. Two Alfa Romeos there, one behind the other. Lemons on that lap, sorry. We'll see what Imri's first sector ends up looking like. Towards the split he comes. He's up by a 10th. Not enough to improve him in terms of position right now, but it's enough to close up in terms of time. Of course, qualifying can be crucial in Monaco. I say Cheese in a very good position right now. Imri into the chicane. Keeps within the limits. Very close to that inside wall once again. Yellow flag behind him. He's now 3/10 up. If he can get another 10th or so, that'd be enough to come up to P7, maybe even P6. We'll see what this last sector looks like for him. Into the final corner he comes. Over the line, enough for P4. Getting another few tenths in that final sector. Fantastic lap from Imri. Puts him on top of Lemons and in front of Fan too. Lemons on his way through to begin what could be his final run. He's got just under 3 minutes to go. definitely time for 2 laps. And Imri's now out there, he's crashed the car. In the same place Michael Dale did, and he's put it there. Legends, good thing it was on an outlap. Imri put himself in P4, but that'll be the highest we see him today, in terms of qualifying at the very least. Here comes Noah in the Haas. He's squeezing the inside wall there very nicely indeed. And coming towards that second sector split. 51. Yes, exactly. 4 tenths up. This could put him in the top 3 potentially. He needs a good last sector. Could he nail this? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're looking at potential pole time here towards the line. It is pole! Just! No now on pole for Haas. Fantastic lap. But it's not over yet. There's still plenty of time for the drivers around to try and beat it. Here comes Lemons into the last couple of corners. Charging towards the line. Can try and put himself back up over Imri. Over the line. It's enough for 1 minute 9. Puts him in P4 in front of Wardy and Imri and Fan. The pack now closing up. This could be a very dicey end to qualifying. I bet Jaden is maybe regretting going and retiring a bit too early. There comes Lemons here. 1.7 down in the first sector. So slow start. He's got time for another lap though. Yellow flag. Slow car in the tunnel. Number of cars all around there on their outlaps right now. Sleepy Sloth, Michelle, Ginger Nut, all there. Legends is on a lap right now. He's got a number of cars going up towards. He was 2 tenths up in his first sector. But he's got a lot of time to gain back. His best effort so far is 1 minute 13.1. So we'll see how high up the order he can get here. He's 6 tenths up from as soon as the last corner he made the mistake. Oh, he's invalidated there. Speaking of last corner, he's got 30 seconds to get to the line. I think he'll definitely try and go one more time. No, he's pitting. Right, qualifying is over for Legends then. Noah's come through to complete, or to start, but what will most likely be his final lap. Lemons has time to get round for one more. Wardy's invalidated, he's got 15 seconds. I think he should get there in time, it's going to be close. And now Ginger Nut crashing. And that right-hander catching out yet another victim here. Wardy charged towards the line. Does he have enough time? He does have enough for another time. Checker flag now falling on the session. And we wait now. For the next cars to come through to the line. The first of which being Sleepy Sloth. Into the chicane he comes. Keeps the lap valid. Nice and smooth. Going towards that split. Looking at 51, maybe 52 here. It's 52, but he's improving by 3 tenths. It won't change his position, but it'll give him a bit more security over Michelle. Final corner for him. No, coming in behind, looking to try and increase his strength, hold on pole position. Sleepy Sloth towards the line here, puts and stays in P9, improves, but still P9. No towards the line, I think he knows he's on pole position, and Fan's out qualifying, he's crashed it. Oh, I thought it was for Wardy too. So Fan out, P7 for his start, alongside his teammate. Wardy in the wall there, but he's really going for it. He's trying to take something from this last sector, and now Lemons puts it on pole. Orion Lemon takes pole position away in the dying meters, but here comes Wardy towards the line. What does he have lined up? Stizzed in P5. And that's it. At the last second then, Haas hard sink. And Lemons puts it on pole position. 1 minute 9.5. 5 cars set within that 1 minute, set high at 1 minute 9. And I dare say we're in for a very entertaining race here. So there you have it. Number of cars crashing in qualifying. Perhaps a bad omen for the race here. So there's your order. Lemons will start on pole. No alongside him. It's Cheese in 3rd, Jade in 4th, Wardy in 5th, Imri in 6th. Fan and Michael Dale alongside each other on row 4, 7th and 8th. Sleepy Sloth and Michelle rounding your top 10. And Ginger Nut, Legends and 10th Cannon in the Ferrari rounding them out. So that's your starting order then for the Grand Prix, which will start in about 5 minutes time. Underway at 7:28, so back with you in a few minutes for the start. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Monaco Grand Prix, round number 6, sorry, of season 7 of the TakeOver Racing League. I'm your host, RC, and if you guys did miss qualifying, I feel bad for you because it was for Monaco. It was hugely entertaining, and we're in for what should be a very exciting race here tonight, despite the slightly smaller grid than usual. Lemon starts on pole position with the Haas of No leading him, or going alongside him into turn at number 1 here. We're moments away from getting underway for the formation lap to get this round underway. Michael Dale still leads the championship. Not sure by how much. I don't have the standings to hand this week, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll have him back with us next week. Jaden, of course, won last week's race, starting, I believe, in 4th place, if my memory from a few minutes ago serves me correctly. No for sure on the formation lap here. They're just waiting. Here we go. I was correct, Jaden, in P4, and there are the lights. Here we go. 5 red lights, and we are underway here in Monaco. No formation laps, so my mistake there. Lemons leads us towards turn 1. No, the good getaway though. They're side by side. The Alfa Romeo jumps in front at turn 1. Cheese falls into line in 3rd place. 3 wide behind them, going up out of the first corner. It looks like Wally gets out in front. Imri and Michael Dale backing out. Everyone's just quickly slotting into foul here as Lemons pulls away from No, who's trying to close in 2nd place. Cheese there in 3rd. Always runs well here, looking to try and gain some place if he can. One of the cars in front locking up has come towards the ground. Held to a hairpin for the first time. Ginger Nut passing Sleepy Sloth. There's contact between the two silver arrows as they go into the hairpin. Hopefully keeping it nice and clean between the pair of them. Rule number 1 of F1 is don't crash into your teammate. And that is in effect more than ever here in Monaco. Lemons then leads. No in 2nd. Cheese in 3rd. So very good start from the Alfa Romeo there. Had a brief bit of challenge from the Haas in 2nd, but managed to pull in front for the first corner. 10th Cannon and Michel ghosting with each other right now. Michel now at the back of the pack. He's lost 3 places on the start. All square between the top 5 then as Leitmans comes through to lead the first lap of this race. Won in Qatar a few rounds ago. Aiming into the pit lane here. Perhaps an early problem. He's starting on the hard tyres, so I think he would have wanted to go further into the first stint. Wing change on the Alfa Romeo, and that could be crucial to his race. Losing time already is the Alfa Romeo of Imri. So one Alfa leads, the other one out the back of the pack. Sleepy Sloth disconnects here. It's not what you want to see. Running in Peanut moments. He's in a world of his own as it stands. Mediums and hards, the choice for everyone so far. Oh, contact between Imri and Lemons and No there. And a bit too deep going into the corner. And No had no choice but to run into him. Not a lot of battery usage made so far, especially for these lead cars. Of the cars in the top 5, Wardy's used the most of his. He's got about 70% left. Lock up for Jaden there as Smoking Cheese goes over the curb bit. Jaden in 4th place, looking to try and close on Cheese. Knows about 7/10 back from Lemons now. So Lemons leads lap 2. It's been unchallenged so far. Fastest lap. 1 minute 13.1 is best effort. And Michael goes faster than that. 1 minute 12. Then Fan goes faster. 1 minute 12.466. So very solid laps to kick things off. And DRS is enabled. The 1 DRS zone here on the circuit. That's on the main straight. If there's anywhere else, it would be the tunnel, but that's going to be too much of a risk. We saw a number of cars crashing in qualifying, hitting the barriers, especially the ones on the inside wall at the tunnel. A number of cars really locking up at the hairpin. No is all over the back of Lemons trying to make something happen. Virtual safety car. An incident of some kind. Perhaps involving one of the Mercedes cars, I'm not entirely sure. There's no front on the Legends, that'll probably be it. So you can see the debris on the circuit there. So yeah, both safety cars deployed for that reason. Lemons gets a brief break. We'll be hoping that the DRS, hoping that the restart before the DRS gets re-enabled. Because No is right there behind him. He's got to keep in line with the Delta and avoid getting a penalty if he can for speeding on the VSC. Waiting for the green flag to come back out. Lemons is trying to pull away. There we go, but No gets a drive through for speeding under the virtual safety car, and exactly what I just said could happen has happened. Oh, there's Michael! Very lucky to keep it on the track there. But tapping the wall with his back left, sorry. And Wardy goes through for P5. And now fans behind him. The reigning champion behind the championship leader. And the two teammates, Aston Martin, for Season 7. Michael is struggling here. Not sure what's going on. Right on the back of Wardy there. No, despite the drive-through, not giving up just yet. Only a few tenths back from Lemons. He makes sure to stay a lot between the lines in terms of that chicane. See, Lemons always consistently goes over it a bit more. Past the swimming pool they go. Lemons then no. Again, the gap around 7 to 8 tenths. Almost 9 now as they come through the Raskas right-hander. And no one's pits then to serve that drive-through at first opportunity he gets. Very unfortunate for him here. He's running so well in the opening laps of this race. It's just gone wrong for him now. Michelle with a time penalty for multiple warnings. He's doing nice track limits. I saw him go over the chicane outside the swimming pool. So Lemons now inherits a empty track in front of him. And Michelle with a 5-second penalty now for speeding in the pit lane. Williams in trouble early on then. And a wing change. Also in place, medium tyres going on. Just put him down to P12, maybe 13. I think he might get away with it. We'll see where he comes out. Ginger Knight is through. Very lucky to not hit him there. Michelle on his way out then. Crossing the yellow line, but he got a warning for him. But gets away from Arc from where he's sitting. And now Cheese has got a clean road to try and chase down Lemons. He's about a second behind right now. Oh! Almost losing the car, losing the back end there, going into the second split. Jaden behind him now. It's a go through Raskas, now running in third place, looking to try and take 2 wins in 2 weeks. Last week's winner in France, looking to go back to back. Michael in 5th right now. Lemons, as it stands, a good 25 points to help him. It'll help him close down 15 points on our championship leader. We are nearing the halfway stage of the season. 13 rounds in Season 7. Top 3 have pulled away massively here. Woody. Oh, there's Woody of the track. He's lost both wheels. And a safety car has been deployed. First retiree of the Monaco Grand Prix here. AlphaTauri of Woody. Eliminated from this race. Does that open anything up in terms of strategy then? It'll allow Ginger Nut, Michelle and Legends to all close up once again as the last 2 come into the pit lane now. Hard tires going on. Michelle serving that penalty, 5 seconds. It's a second stop of the race. Fresh set hard, sorry, one set hard now going on. The front wing change too. Start to close everything up, especially in terms of strategy here. I'm looking at more or less everyone doing the same thing now. Short for weather change. Michael Dale stays out. Both Aston Martins electing to stay on the racetrack here. Lemons is in, hard tyres going on. Cheese is in medium tyres on that car. Jaden also on the mediums. Top 3 all pitting. Now down to P3, P4 and P5. Well, no might beat Jaden out. He has beaten Jaden out, but he won't beat Cheese or Lemons. So still in a good position now. No, in a decent spot now, having served this drive-through and got lucky with the safety car. So now he's sort of still in contention. Wouldn't say it's a race over from at all. But a very unfortunate crash for Iwardy there. And Ginger up the drive-through, speeding under the safety car, so he's been caught out by the Delta. Ginger in the pit lane now as well. Hard tyres on the car. Sleepy Sloth rejoins in 7th place. So we wait now for the pack to all join back up. The last of those cars being Michelle, who's down in the first sector, while the leaders come through to begin lap number 8. Top 3 all there. Cheese closing in with no behind him, and then Jaden further back. Sleepy Sloth and Ted the Cannon there in P7 and P8. Imri in 9th for coming into pit lane now. Hard tyres on the car. Ginger not coming in. Several changes been made so far. Have a look at the stops. It's been Ginger Nut's third stop of the race, if I'm correct. Yep. 3 stops made in the space of just 8 laps. 7 laps, sorry. So Michael Dale leads then. Fan second place. These two staying on it. And Ginger Nut retiring from the session. So he's calling it there. Safety car not coming in just yet. Getting another lap or so before we go back to racing. Lap number 9 begins and 30 to go. And no one in a position to try and go to the end of the race on these tyres, so we'll get at least another stop in. Sleepy Sloth in the pit lane then. 6th time a Mercedes is coming to the pits. They're in P9 now. Just 11 cars left in the race. Michelle in once again. Medium tyres going on. So a number of stops these cars further back then. 3 stops for Michelle, 2 for Legends and Imri. 3 for Ginger Nut as well. Just 1 for Sleepy Sloth for Jaden, Cheese and Lemons. Michael, Fan, No, 10th Cannon. We had to stop and Morty didn't get to the first stop, unfortunately. Everyone almost close up to each other now. So we'll keep an eye out here. The Aston Martin's leading the way. And here we go. Safety car is in this lap. So we'll see how the Astons handle this restart. Cars on fresher tyres behind. Lemons on the hards. Cheese and Jade on the mediums. No back in the mix. Here we go then. Where will Michael choose to go? He's got his teammate backing him up. Out of the last corner. Gunning it now. And he's away. Aston Martin with a solid restart here. Lap number 10 begins in Monaco. Lemons, the pole sitter, in 3rd place to go into turn 1. He's got Cheese and No behind him. Jaden running in 6th. Legends and Sleepy Sloth both pitting here. We'll have some wing change of both of them potentially. Michelle now up to 9th place once again. 7.7 seconds off of Imri in 8th. Yellow flag, and that is Imri has spun it. Front wing is gone. He's gone across the path of Mitchell there, who is lucky to still be in contention there. If ghosting hadn't been on. So Imri really struggling right now. Michael leads, but almost a second now. But Fan is doing a good job at keeping everyone else behind him right now. So Trainey's leading about 5 more cars behind him. Sorry, 4 more cars. Sitting just behind him in his mirrors. He's keeping an eye out for them while Michael can now expand his lead. He's got up to about a second or so. Lap number 11. Nearing the end of the first third of this race. Lock up there from Fan, I believe. There's been a lot of lockups today, both in qualifying and the race so far. And Lemons is hounding back of the Aston Martin, trying to find some sort of mistake of some kind, as is Cheese on Lemons himself. It's all very close right now. Anyone could still take this one. Cheese looking to try and find a way through. Not the best of exits there. Lemons gets away massively now. DRS comes into play next lap. Michael is pulling away here. 1.3 seconds his lead now. Fan again doing a fantastic job of leading the train. Never mind a trolley train. And race control deploying DRS, putting it back online now. Imrie now in P11, but closing on Legends. Sleepy Sloth in 9th, Michelle in 8th with a penalty to his name. That is 3 seconds as far as I'm aware. Yes, it is for track limits earlier on. 10th Cannon in 7th. He's fallen away from the train here. Jane and No, in a world of their own, fighting each other now for the 5th spot. Jane want to try and get past Task as he can. Goes to the inside there. Bit of contact between them. Both cars looking up. And lockups from Cheese there. If I'm correct. Lemon's having to just defend for his life right now, but Cheese not getting enough of a run. He's used a lot of his battery here. Better exit this time round than he got last time. He's right on the back of the Alfa Romeo now. Michelle passing 10th Cannon. He's really come fighting back now. Evan very close to that curb, the wall on the inside going to that last corner. Aston's looking to try and pull away now, but Fan is not being allowed to speed off into the distance and join his teammate. And Michael not backing off to allow him DRS. Which, even on a track like Monaco, isn't too helpful. Especially with the overtakes. We've seen more overtakes happen on this straight here with the run from Jaden last time round. Speaking of Jaden, he's going to try again this time the outside of No, has the inside for the hairpin now. Jaden into P5. And again, cars in his lead pack locking up. Imrie is close to Legends now, using his battery and his DRS, but won't go for it at turn 1, will he? Nope, keeps behind him. Might try and do what Jaden did. Let's follow him up the hill here. Oh, Legends into the wall a bit there. Imrie stays in line. Michael's still leading by about 1.3 seconds. No to the inside of Jaden. He's got the place back. Yellow flag, and that is Jaden going slow. Recovered it though. He's struggling here. He's lost an end plate. There it is. Only just kicked on the circuit. Into pits. The second time in this race. And there goes Lemons to the inside of Fan here. Very tight knit for the left hand and now in the right. There's contact. And Fan loses out. Double whammy loses both places here. Cheese now in 3rd place. Lemons locks up. Sleepy Jaden in the pits here, coming out in P9. But Lemons now in 2nd and Cheese now in 3rd. Fan dropping back. And Lemons now has free range to chase after the medium tyre Aston Martin, who's been on those tyres since the start. So it could be in trouble. Potentially. She's not going for it just yet. Fan looking to try and close back in as much as she can. Michael inching closer and closer to that wall. Doesn't want to leave it too late to pit. Will he come in this time, or will he stay out? Staying out. Oh, Lemons going way wide there. Cheese goes to his inside. Both just about have the space here. Fan looking to close on Cheese. Cheese looking to close on Lemons into turn 1. Lemons holds on to second place. We're going to get a penalty though. 3 seconds for multiple warnings. So run over the curb there at turn 1 a bit too much for the stewards, and they decide they've had it. Penalty for him. The second one in terms of track limits handed out tonight. The first one still courtesy of Michelle, who is trying to close on the Haas of Noah's. Cheese looks to the inside. Number of lockups here. Cheese trying the outside in the hairpin. Trying to get a better drive off. Won't do it. No, really, it's not much in it at all. Then we're seeing trying to sneak a move to the inside there. He's closing this time. So go to the inside of the chicane. Trying to outbrake him. No, he won't. He backs out of it. But Lemons definitely knows he's around now. Lemons very aware of the threat he's got behind him. Michael still going. Still increasing his lead. 4 seconds to the good right now. Staying out again. Cheese looking to the outside of Raskas. Needs a good exit compared to Lemons this time. He may have just got it. Sleepy Sloth for the penalty for multiple warnings. Cheese closing all the time. Again, 2 for back to go for it here. Once he knows he's not going to go for it, he's got to stick to that. He can't then try it. A track like Monaco, once you make your choice, you've got to stick to it. Lemons holding on for dear life right now. Cheese is trying to prevent any mistakes he makes of himself. Lemons again locking up the tyres. Jaden sets the fastest lap of the race there. In P9 right now, 1 minute 11.363. Closing the gap on Sleepy Sloth. Imrie and Legends behind in P10.11. Of course, everyone will be scoring points at this rate. Top 15. Walking away with points. The gap at the top starting to come down now. It's more or less stagnated. Fan not pitting either. These two lungs try and go for the one stop if they can. The hard tires definitely make it to the end. Potential from here. They've got to manage these ones for the next lap or two before they can make their stop. And know for sure they'll make it on the hards. They are pretty back far enough now to the point they can probably coordinate these stops quite nicely. They can probably double stack if they want to. 6.5 seconds between them as 10th cannon passes Michelle, who's in the pit lane for the 4th time in this race. Front wing change and medium tyres go on the car. And he's away. Hold on to P9 now. Sleepy Sloth into 8th place, chasing down Jaden's got around him now for 7th. 10th cannon about 5 seconds in front of Jaden right now. Michelle gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting here. Imrie in the pit lane. Front wing change being made once again. Hard tyres going on. And the gap closing now between the two leaders. Michael down to a 2.8 second advantage. He's tapped the wall there. I think it's probably about time for him to pit at this stage. I think he's probably had enough of those mediums. He's staying out again. Well, that fan, what does he choose to do? So the Aston's definitely going to a lap 19, lap 20 if they can. As far as they can, these mediums, but Michael's dropping back. Blue flags are into effect for Imrie in this moment, with Michael gaining on him, but I dare say he may want to try and help his teammates in some way. He'll definitely want to try and find a good spot to let him through without too much hassle when he comes to him. If he comes to him. But Legends is closing that gap. Yellow flag, that's Legends, who's calling his race there in the tunnel. What's happened to him? Stop the car. I don't know where he stopped though. He's despawned, so we're all good. Keep on racing. Top 10 still in the race here. Foul the penalty now for corner cutting himself. 4 cars now, penalty for track limits violations. Which has 2s into his name. 20 more laps to go when Michael next crosses the line. His gap down to about 2.3, 2.4 seconds right now. Cheese about 2 seconds off him. Everyone's quite split up as it stands. The closest gap being No right behind Fan there. Keeping on the race for fourth. Aside from these two, everyone else separates from each other by at least 2 seconds. Fan knocking up 2 times in two corners. Keep an eye on these two here. She's trying to close the gap on Lemons. Lemons still closing on Michael. When will he come into the pit lane as he reaches the halfway stage? Stays out again. And Fan with another penalty here for multiple warnings. Will he choose to pit? Again, stays out. These two definitely going as long as they can on these medium tyres. How long will they get into the last? Because Michael's lead has dropped by about half what it was a couple of laps ago. So Lemons then still closing that gap a lot more slowly this time, but still closing it. Out the hairpin they come. No, still tailing Fan here, waiting for an opening of some kind if he can find it. Fan will give him the chance to. So 3 retirees in this race, a third of which just left the session. Legends finishing 11th. They won't get points, I don't believe, so it doesn't come under the 90% rule. We're looking around the final 5 laps, he's won about 90%. Perhaps even fewer than that. And Michael Dale is in at last. Lemons retakes the lead. Does Fan join him? Going to avoid the double stack. Michael's in. Hard tyres going onto the car. We're getting to the end. And No's coming in too. Following the strategy, Aston Martin, the Haas is now away. Here comes Jaden back on the racetrack again. So come out just behind Michael. He's got to get used to being in those hard tyres now. He's got a decent amount of pace to try and pull away. Lemons now has Cheese 3 seconds behind him. Fan and 10th Cannon, the last 2 cars to stop now. Cannon's had a relatively quiet race so far. What we've seen hasn't had a whole lot to deal with, so he's perhaps fortunate in that respect. Oh, he taps the wall ever so slightly there. Gets over with it. BT is struggling those hard there. Definitely reached the end of their lives. Well, thanks to the difference in strategy, we've still got no real idea as to who's actually going to win this race. I'm thinking that Michael's in a good bit of leeway to try and win this thing. He's in 3rd place right now. As Fan pits, front wing change as well. Hard tyres go on the car. And he's obviously on his way to the end of the race. So we'll get to the end on those, as will Noah and Michael. Jaden might. It'll be difficult. He could do it. 10th Cannon, the last car to stop. Imri a long way back here, as is Sleepy Sloth, as is Michelle. He's trying to get around Fanny if he can here. Can't quite get it done this time. I'll keep an eye on him here. Lock up from Fan once again. New tyres, same issue. And both cars behind 10th Cannon now. This could be very insane indeed. In comes Cheese. This million times had it. May go on another set of those to get to the end. Hard time's going on. Michael now in second place. Lemons might keep going for a couple of laps longer here. They put onto a set of soft tyres at the end of the race. That'll make him for an entertaining finish. Jaden in there in third. Cheese emerging just in front of No there. Only just. Fan and Michelle now both around Cannon with ease. Racing for P6, but Michelle's fallen away. Fan's gone to grips with his hards quite quickly. Emery and Sleepy Sloth get penalties. Sleepy Sloth 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. He's calling it there, he's out the race. 9 cars now left in the running here in Monaco. Lemons, then Michael, then Jaden. There's your order. 10 seconds separate the two leaders. Lemons, hard tyres. Still good for another few laps. But Michael is closing. Lemons now catching his teammate Imri. Who's struggled so far in this race. Ginger now leaving again. 4 retirees in this race, 9 still running. 4 of them with penalties, one of which being the race leader. He's got 3 seconds to his name. Michael and Jaden then look to be going perhaps toe to toe for the win. But we'll see if Jaden can close in. Locking up those hards once again. Going over the curb in the hairpin. Oh, look at Lemons! Almost off the circuit, holding on to it. But might just give up the lead here. Hasn't rejoined perhaps in the nicest way, but Michael takes the lead. If Lemons need to stop together, that might be the race. Short of a safety car. Lemons will wait to pit again. DRS deployed. But Michael's already pulling away here. This battle looks over before it's even begun. An unfortunate mistake for Lemons then. Perhaps looking out contention to win this race. Or even finish on the podium at that. No closing the gap on Smoke and Cheese. And Jaden quickly shutting down Lemons' advantage. He'll have done 25, 26 laps on those tyres. Once this race is over, if he stays onto them. But then DRS range now of Lemons, sorry. Out of the tunnel, Lemons looking to avoid that same mistake. They both do. Jane keeping it under control just about. He'll have DRS this time. How much it'll help him, we don't know. Michael, 2.6 seconds in the clear, 2.8. Make that 3 seconds now. More or less. No, it's not getting any close to Cheese. Emery, they're closing on Fan. Everyone quite split up at this point. Look at your penalties then. So 3 seconds for both Alfa Romeos, Lemons and Imri. Fan and Michelle both have 6 seconds then, and they'll be fighting each other for position at the end. But of course, 12 seconds covering them right now. And I see Imri closing on Fan. Ghosting right now because of blue flag rules. Michael passing the line once again, lap 27 in this race. Jaden closing the gap on Lemons here. How much longer will he stay on those hard tyres for? He's been on for 20 laps now. Changed onto them when that first safety car came out. He's the only one who hasn't pit since. We've seen both Jaden and Cheese come in since those first stops. One stop's work for Michael here. He's on course for victory. 12 and a half laps to go. Taking a big step towards perhaps winning the Season 7 Championship. Only halfway through, anything could still happen. But he's certainly been heading in the right direction for the last couple of races or so. More or less since gone away this season. Won 7 of the first few races. Wins in Spain and Canada to kick off his campaign. One of the best of races in Qatar in the sprint. Was finished in that race. Finished in way down the order there, with a puncture at the end of the race. Finished in 3rd place in Hungary, and last week he came home in 2nd place. So it's been a very consistent season for him. He scored points in every outing, which is obviously a lot easier to do now. Now the points are in the top 15. Jaden looking around it, trying to find an opening. Cheese closing the gap too. We could see a race for the podium now. Lemons are not allowed to lose that place, so it'll be between Jaden and Cheese to see who takes 2nd. I don't think that Jaden's going to stop again. Normal Cheese, but I think Lemons has to at this stage to have any chance. He'll need a safety car, something like that. Mitchell in the pits once again. Soft tyres and front wing change. That's his 5th stop of this race, going on with Imri's 5. 10th Cannon in 7th place. Everyone very spaced out right now. Blue flags in effect there for Imri. He's now far away from fans to the point where he doesn't need to ghost. Or getting there at least. Lemons is... Oh, Lemons down to P4 now. Sorry, I apologize, I've missed that. Jaden and Cheese both getting around Lemons. Jaden now in 2nd place. Oh, Cheese very close to locking up and hitting the back of the Red Bull. He's kept it out of the back of the Red Bull and the wall. I think Lemons definitely has to pit now. A stop now, dropping down to P6 in the order. I think he'll be safe from there. Michelle then Imri. Behind Cheese, now taking Jaden for 2nd. So now Cheese has a clear road in front of him. Lemons with another penalty here for multiple warnings. Over the chicane completely there. No puncture on it yet. Tyres seem okay. He should come in this time. Oh, he does come in. Around he goes. He's going to have to reverse that. Yep. There he goes. Losing his front wing in the process. I mean, it might, yeah, I don't know if that'll be it for him. I definitely saw a part of it coming off. Half Romeo crew rushing out there to get ready for the stop. Front wing change being made. Things have fallen apart for Alfa Romeo now. And for the Pulsar to Lemons, whose strategy hasn't quite paid off, unfortunately. But we now have a chase for the win. Cheese, who is very good at Monaco, has won here before. And as I say, that gets a lot harder from 3-second time penalty now to his name, as Michael is coming to the line now 9 laps away from victory. But Cheese has got to now closing an 8-second gap past the Aston Martin and then put himself 3 seconds in front. I hope that Michael gets a penalty while he's chasing. And Jaden in 3rd will be hounding him all the way. This hard time might not last much longer either. 8 seconds to the gap to close in 9 laps. Can he do it? Got to go from Jamin Verse. He's doing just that so far. At least from what I can see. Jane keeping the car at the wall there very nicely indeed. Could start seeing Michael struggling his tyres towards the end. As well as Noah in the Haas. His strategy also worked. He's lost places just because of the race itself unfolding. Lemons closing on 10th cannon. Into turn 1 they go. Gap down to just over 8 seconds. Make that just under 7 in a corner or 2. Michael leads. Lap 32. Jaden right behind Cheese. It's turn 1 they go. The Alpine keeping in front. Cheese in the car what he won the championship with. Tenth cannon, Lemons behind him, and Michelle closing in too on those soft tyres. Lemons closing, or has closed the gap on 10th. He's past him now. 40 seconds up to Fan in 5th place. A lot of times close down. I think he'll close that before the end. A chill on the pits. 6th stop of the race. Soft tyres going on once again. That gap now closing. Imri almost a minute back from there. Under no threat whatsoever. Down to P8 for him. Emerges right next to Jaden and Cheese. Jaden now into 2nd place. Jaden's not done yet. Cheese that penalty. It does look like Michael's race to win now. The gap is closing. And Cheese will not want to be behind Jaden. Michael, that gap has now dropped down to 7 seconds. Almost. It'd be quite a tall order here for Jaden to close in all that time, especially on the worn hard tyres. Lemons takes the fastest lap, 1 minute 11.2 on the mediums. Could we see Michelle try and match that potentially? It's right down the back of Cheese. Hoping not to distract the Alpine driver, of course, running for a podium here. Yellow flag, and that is Imri off into the barriers at the right hander. Here comes Lemons behind him. Michelle all over Cheese here. He's coming to the pit lane once again. Has he got damage? He got more damage. This will be his 7th stop of this race, which might just be a record. Front wing change. That's an end plate then by the looks of it. The gap between the leaders now down to just 6 seconds. That gap is closing surprisingly fast here. Does Michael have a problem of some kind? What is going on with that car? The fact that Jaden on very worn hards is catching him. Again, it'll have done 26 laps on those when the race is over. And Cheese is falling away too. Cheese's chance of winning this race are slowly dropping. He might even finish on the podium here thanks to the 3-second penalty because No is closing in. He's within 3/10. This race isn't over just yet, folks. Don't go anywhere because Jaden is closing that gap faster than you can think. He's gained about at least a second in the last lap or so. Could Jaden go for 2 wins in a row here? Lap 35 now. 5 more laps to go. Cheese into the pits. He's calling it there. May go for soft tyres and try and sight the fastest lap. He's going to fine chase for him, but he's been beaten here, unfortunately for him. Shall I say that this time? She's down to P5 now. Quite a ways back from Fan. James put the gap down to 4 seconds. Just closing rapidly here. Have to avoid getting a penalty and making any more mistakes. And it could jeopardise those tyres. Could we see a late fight from Jaden for the victory? Gap almost 3 seconds now, but you can see he's starting to struggle. He's twitching this way and that, especially under braking. Michael, no doubt aware of the threat that's coming his way, especially in the last couple of laps. The track's starting to cloud over a bit here, if you ask me. Look how overcast. It should be no sign of rain these late stages, but it definitely shake things up. Especially these top 4 on the more worn tyres. No on the podium right now. It should stay that way thanks to Cheese being out of the picture and Fan with the penalty. Sure to no mistake. The gap almost down to 3 seconds now. He'd need to get a second a lap and get around Michael in order to win this thing. James still got a lot of work to do. The job's not done yet. He is still in control. We're looking to try and avoid that gap opening up again. If it starts opening up, this race might be over. See how much he's struggling on those tyres now. We're not sure how. I mean, we're not sure how worn these tyres even are. He might have been holding out till the late stages. For Michael, meanwhile, the gap now within 3 seconds with 3 laps to go. Jaden pushing it to the absolute limit here, using what's left of his battery. Michael's got a lot of his left too. He's not using it right now. He's allowing Jaden to close in. The Red Bull really flowing with the circuit here as he closes that gap down to almost 2.5 seconds now. He's gaining about just over, if not a second a lap. Cheese takes the fastest lap there, 1 minute 10.2. That's a qualifying sort of lap. The track now completely overcast. You can see Jaden in the distance there. On the rear camera, Michael's Aston Martin as he closes in on what will be his 3rd win of the season. Jaden looking for a second here. And he is closing still. It may not be enough. He's running out of time. He's got just over 2 laps to go to gain about 2 seconds back. Gap now down to 1.7. 1.6. If he gets within DRS range, we have a race. 2 laps to go. Fan closing, or still right there behind? No. He's got that penalty. That won't stop him though. He won't stop him to go for it. Yellow flag, and that is Imri off in the barriers once again. Keeps it out of the barriers. Gets it on the track again. No issue there. 1.6 the gap between the 2 leaders. 1.5, 1.4. It's that 3rd sector where Jaden really gains the most time. Michael locks up there. Won't help him at all. Yellow flag behind. We're just in front of him, sorry. And that is 10th Cannon. Because recovered the car in time to avoid any interference with the leaders. No holding on for a podium here after a fantastic qualifying lap that saw him up there on the front row, which saw him go side by side with Lemons into turn 1. Lemons down in 6th place now, so a poor day for the pole sitter, unfortunately. He's looking to try and bounce back. He's in the pits right now for a set of soft tyres. Emery with a 3-second penalty. The gap is within DRS range now. Jaden is within 1 second. It all comes down to this then, folks. Jaden on 24 lap hold hard tyres, unbelievably, has closed down an 8-second gap and caught Michael Dale here. He's got 1 lap to pull this off. The comeback of the century could be completed here on this final lap in Monaco. They say it's impossible to overtake here. And today no one's been harder to overtake than this man, Michael. Michael Dale and the Aston Martin, but Jaden is there behind him. So the first sector they go here. We've seen Jaden go for moves here into this next right-hander. He doesn't want to try and risk it. He needs to find the opportunity. He doesn't want to sit behind Michael the whole lap. Michael locking up. And now Jaden locking up through the hairpin. This could be it. I think, does Jaden have anything left for him? Michael's got a lot of battery. No doubt he'll use it to try and get away. Yes, he is. Overtake deployed for him. This could be the race. Jaden has done a remarkable job to close in. It comes down to about a sector and a half left of racing. A penalty for Michael will be agony for him now. That's all Jaden can hope for at this stage. Hopefully his tyres can hold out. Oh, Michael, the poor exit there. Could Jaden go for it? Into Rascas for the last time. Looking for a good exit this time. Here comes Jaden. He's run out of time here. He won't quite make it. The comeback is thwarted by Michael Dale, who wins here in Monaco. And Jaden may have just got a puncture over the line there. He's held out for second. And knowing the Haas comes through to take away third off a fan who has the penalty. A fantastic chase, but in the end it comes down to just 0.8 of a second as Cheese crosses the line for 5th place here. Lemon's on his way through to claim 6th. But what a race. No puncture for Jaden. I think he may have just backed off at the end. We'll have to talk to him about that because that was quite a remarkable feat to close down an 8-second gap and so very nearly had a chance to pass him, but it just wasn't enough at the end. So Michael wins. 3rd win of the season. Nu gets himself on the podium. 10th count with no front wing, going to finish the race here. Lemon's over the line for P6. We have just 9 finishes today. Michello over the line in 8th, Imri in 9th. Poor day for Alfa Romeo by their standards. They want to try and bounce back in the next race, which is our second sprint race of the season. Taking place at the Circuit of the Americas next week. Whether I'll be there for that, we'll have to wait and see. And 10th Cannon bring it to the line here to finish in P7. And there's your winner. 3rd victory of the season for the championship leader. And he brings it down the main straight here to wrap things off. A very exciting race all around. I do hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So start the race from the beginning then. So there's your podium then. At the end of it all, Michael wins, Jaden in 2nd, and Nu in 3rd. We're trying to talk to all 3 of these guys if we can. Celebration from the beginning then for the championship leader, who will increase his lead once again and establish himself once more as the favourite for the Season 7 championship. But anything could still happen. There's still 7 rounds to come. I'll have to talk to all these guys. And there's your results then for the first time ever. I've been shown the result in this game. Michael wins the race then. Jaden 2nd. Nu rounds off your podium. Fan in 4th place, followed by Cheese, then Lemons. 10th Cannon in 7th in the end. Michelle a lap down. Imri 2 laps down. In the end, 9 finishers. Sleepy Sloth, Legends, Gingerna and Wardy all failing to finish, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll see him back next week. Nu recovering from that drive penalty as well to take home at the podium finish. I have to talk to him about that. A brilliant, brilliant race around. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll get some post-race interviews going as well for the podium finishers. So get the post-race interviews going then. Right, so we'll get these guys in, and then we'll get those interviews underway. Oh, Michael was here, but he's just left. Right, so yeah, bear with us just a moment, lads, and we'll get things started. Michael was here, but he's left for some reason, so hopefully he comes back in. Okay, right. Well, while we figure that out, then we might as well get started with the one driver we have in here. So, No, if you want to unmute for us, mate. Congratulations, then. Podium finished despite the drive-through, then. So, yeah, talk us through it. How was that?
So, it was pretty difficult. The drive-through was undeserved. I was in the Delta, but it was a bug of the game, I think. But, yeah, I can't change it. Was a good race until then. Fan luckily didn't overtake me in a spot where I couldn't handle it, so all good.
Yeah, I mean, in all in all, I think it was a solid race for you, especially given qualifying as well. What happened in qualifying? Because that was a brilliant lap you pulled out there. You almost had pole position. How was that like? What was that like?
Well, I screamed a bit, so I was very excited to see me on pole, but then Lemons was just a little bit quicker, so I can't change it. But it was a very solid lap, like Max in Sector 3. Nah, but nah, I can't complain about it at all.
Definitely not, mate. I mean, you almost had him at the first corner too, but you just managed to squeeze in front in the end. And in terms of the safety car, obviously that helped you catch back up. You say that was essential to the comeback today?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. The hards were definitely the right tire to be on the last stint, because the mediums were not that fast and not that good as we expected, I think.
Fair enough. Of course, Fan gave you a lot of pressure on the in the last stage of the race. What was that having him behind you?
It was pretty intense because in the last sector, especially, my tires gave up, especially my front. So I nearly understeered every corner. Yeah, I tried to get on with it, and then over that, Cheese did brake a bit late and then opened the door, and I tried to get in there, but yeah, I braked too late, and then I got wing damage from that.
You managed to hold on to it though, so podium finish for you. I'm sure you're very happy with that. And then last question, in terms of next week's race, which is the second sprint event of the season, Circuit of the Americas next week. You're going to be around for that, and if you are, looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward for another podium or a front row, because yeah, I know the pace is there. I just need to get on with the car. That's all.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, hopefully we can get another good result from you next week. So yeah, thank you for coming along. Congratulations again on the podium. Hopefully we'll see you again here soon.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
And you, mate. Well done. Right, it's just the one interviewee tonight. Unfortunately, no one else around. Couldn't quite get Michael in the end. Just no sign of Jane. Well, I'll see Jane one more time if we can get him in, because we have to talk to him about the comeback he made at the end. So we'll ask him to see if he's about. He's online, so we'll see if we can get anything at all. I want to say, guys, I do appreciate you guys showing up throughout the stream. These ones have been quite well received so far this season, so I do appreciate that. If you are new around here, do make sure to subscribe, because we're trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you are new, then yeah, do get subscribed, because we have fun on this channel. We do a lot of cool races, so we'll see if we can get Jaden in. Okay, so alright, so Jaden not about. So that'll cap off the stream. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Like I say, if you did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I've had 2 Monaco races this week, and both of them have been quite solid. So we'll so until next time then, the next race will be next Thursday, the Kota Sprint race, round number 7 of the season. If I'm not here, it'll be on the TakeOver Racing League Twitch, which I'll leave down in the description below. So make sure to subscribe to them, make sure to go follow that. Hopefully Darryl will be back with us next week. Until that next race, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.